Yo ho, what's up to everybody out there? Welcome back to another edition of the Roundtable Talk. And I am your host, C Money. And today's episode, we are going to another hotspot in South Florida, which is called Secret Woods Nature Center, which is here in the Hollywood, Dania Beach area, off of State Road 84 and the I-595 Express here. I've been wanting to go to this for the longest. I've always wanted to check it out. And it's not too far from Snyder Park. Maybe like a 5-minute drive from Snyder Park. But I've always wanted to check this out. But I know during COVID, it was kind of hard because they had closed at one point during COVID. And I think because of, maybe I think it was doing construction and other things like that. I don't remember. But finding assistance by land and matter conservation funding assisted by Land and Water Conservation Fund, Florida Department of Natural Resources. Yeah, I've been like I said, I've been wanting to try to do this park because I always go by this park and I'm like, I've never and I've always wanted. I've seen Google videos and stuff. You have a lot of spider webs up here. This is like move your valuables, report suspicious activity, lock your vehicle. So, and I've always, because I'm a fan of nature trails and things like that. The park hours from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. The gate locks daily at 5 p.m. So this is mainly like another nature center. A nature center is for public learning and appreciation. So basically this is for nature, just kind of like Lakeside, but more different than Lakeside because this is an actual park. Lakeside is just a preservation, wildlife. This has probably pavilions and grills and a playground. It probably has more than what you expect than you see at Lakeside. So we're walking here in the parking area. So this is the parking area. I'm trying to find, maybe the entrance was back that way, but we'll figure it out along the way. It's kind of interesting and kind of funny that walking into this, you don't see a actual sidewalk when you walk into here for like pedestrians and stuff like that. So you kind of ask yourself, like, is this park is mainly designed for vehicles and not pedestrians? Even though just steps away you're off of just steps away you're at I-95. It's just feet away. This is the additional parking this way. This is the welcome park information and restrooms. So we're gonna go here to it. Now this is probably, they have a little kiddie area. This is county vehicles, I guess, charging station for county vehicles. This is, I guess, a little area for the kids to play at, probably the little play area and things like that. And Spanish needles, liverwurst, tuxedos. So this is probably the park office information. Yeah, this is the park office. This is the bathrooms and stuff. They also have water. Interesting. This is the wheelchair accessible and things like that. So this park here doesn't have an actual office. They have a portable office, let alone portable restrooms, because with this park you don't have a this is a nature center. You can see over here there's a boardwalk here, which we'll be going to right now. We're gonna go to the boardwalk. Hello. Gate closes at 5 p.m. Please watch your step. Foot traffic only. No bikes. Pedestrians keep left. I guess this is, I don't know what this is, so we're gonna walk through here. Boardwalk sleepy when wet. Foot traffic only, no pets prohibited. And I get it. So we're gonna start to the right We might have to do a 2-part episode of this because I don't know how long this foot trail is. I have hydration on. So one of my neighbors gave me a Nike backpack, which is pretty much have so much pocket space in it. So I'm using it for the first time because, you know, I got several stuff in here. I have, you know, my heat rags, or what you call them, what most people call them, sweat rags. I have, you know, some wipes and napkins and things, some sanitizer and stuff like that. I have, you know, my new hydration systems, which is my air conditioner. I have 2 of them. I have one that goes around your neck and then one that goes on the clip of your belt, which is on the clip of my belt. The one that goes around your neck is in my bag. So there's things like that. I guess this is where a lot of the water used to reside, and then they, you know, that's why they built the bridge here. And now we're gonna walk through the trail and we're gonna end up in the bridge. Now, it may become a 2-part episode. It may not, because I honestly can't tell you that this is, you know, how this will play out, because I don't know how big this park is. I've always wanted to try this because, you know, like I told you before, I'm a fan of nature trails and nature walks and things like that. This is probably the other way if you was going left, probably, and you go here. We're gonna see. Oh, I thought this was the end. You know, you keep going. Oh, there's lots more trails. So yeah, we'll probably be doing, you know, New River Trail is to your left. Lauderdale Oak Trail is to your right. Oh, so we're gonna go here and we're gonna walk. Now, I didn't do much research on this park. This park has been around for a long time. If you know any information, you can kindly comment at the bottom of this page as well. But I know that this park has been here since the 80s and the 90s. I know because back when I was younger, in my early 2000s, I dated a girl who lived in Fort Lauderdale, and this was my younger years, and I used to catch the bus which is the bus service is no longer available for that route. They merged with another route, and the route that I used to take went through here, and I always used to see this. And when my brother stayed in Hollywood, the bus that goes here now goes by his place, and I used to always take this every time I used to hang out at my brother's place, and I wanted to go hang out in Fort Lauderdale. I would take this bus, and I would always see this place, and I was like, Secret Woods, and I was like, that's an interesting name. And then I ended up saying, let me go check it out. So here I am. And a lot of the times when I used to come by, I used to see the gate closed, or I used to look it up online. Oh, we're closed. And I mean, COVID closed a lot of places. And then because of the nature sense, you know, a lot of nature centers get closed because they have to either reconstruct some of the nature because of heavy damaged rain, and you know, a lot of these nature centers get damaged by severe weather and hurricanes, to where it has to close down to redevelop. And this is New River Trail. Do not remove plants and Lauderdale Oak Trail. So we are here. Paul M. Bain in loving memory, 1956 to 2009. Area closed for remodel, do not enter. So this probably is wildlife you may see. A black racer, which is a snake, a box turtle, golden orb web spider, marsh rabbit, yellow rat snake, scorpion, and raccoons. Woo! So I'm guessing this is a center that, you know, that they use it. So hopefully I don't run into a half of these, because, you know, this trail is kind of small. And we are now leaving the actual trail, and now we're on the dirt trail, which is not bad, because most of these, you know, places does have dirt trails. I just don't want to run into no raccoons or snakes. That's my biggest fear. I remember I told you I had an incident with a raccoon at Grindles Park, and to the parking lot. So that's to the parking lot. I'm guessing that's to the parking lot, and this is to We're gonna go here. It says to the parking lot, but I think it wraps around the area, so we're gonna get a little bit more understanding. We're gonna try to get all of the park, and mainly like me. And with my walking, I'll give you an estimate of how long it would take you to walk. I like the fact that they do have benches along the trail, so if you do get tired or if you want to rest, you can sit down at one of the bench trails. And I like the water portable water station there, you know, because that might be one of the water stations where it got cold water. You know, if it don't got cold water, then we have a problem. Even though I got 2 bottles of water with me, you know, but it might be one of those. I think that's the exit. So this is, I believe, where the parking lot will be. We're gonna go and check it out. Huh? Yeah. This would be. So now we're gonna come over here, and we're gonna continue on the trail because that's the exit, I guess, to get to the parking lot. And I was not driving, so I don't need to go to the parking lot, and I'll probably take back. Now we're back onto the concrete trail here. Oh, I was trying to figure out what that was. A piece of fruit. Give or take, I honestly believe it will probably take you 45 minutes, maybe an hour to walk this, because there are a lot of trails here that is, you know, there are a lot of trails. You have the Oak Trail, you have the River Trail, and you know, you have areas to get, you know, you cut through to get to the parking lot, you know. So let's see, we gotta go over here. I guess a lot of these concrete trails lead to, and there's more bench areas where you can sit down. I guess a lot of these concrete trails are basically areas where water used to reside, and you walking over the water like little lakes and ponds. Now this is the interesting part. Now I wouldn't sit over here because this is not over any shade, so why would I sit here in shade? Oh, this is beautiful. This is beautiful right here. Like you're coming against, and it's like the trees are your shade, and this is beautiful. This is yellow rat snake. Oh, that's in the area. Oh, time to get the heck out of here. You said yellow rat snake, so that means they're in this area. Let me get in the area, because when you see those displays, that means they are in the area, most likely. So, okay. So, and a lot of these have information on the trees and stuff like that. I'm not going to take the time to stop at every little piece of information and say, okay, this is what this is and this is what that is. If you want more in-depth of this park, you know, most of the times, a lot of the times when I come out to these parks, I give you places that is interesting to come, and, you know, these is where animals dug holes at and stuff. Most of the time I come out here to these places to say, hey, this is something you can do while in South Florida, or this is something you can do while you're in Orlando or any other city or state. You know, it's not for me to say, oh, you don't have to come here. I'm going to show you what this is about, so you don't have to come here. No, you know, because then I'll be like, well, what's the purpose? You know, come check this out for yourself. Come check out the trees and the nature and things like that, and you can enjoy the natural wildlife. Now, a lot of these benches, I commend them from having rest stops within the trails, but a lot of these trails, rest benches, they don't have top. See, we was here, so we looped around, so now we're going back to the top part. We looped around. A lot of these little rest stops, they don't have cover over them, so if you're resting, you got to find one that has like trees hovering over it, or a pavilion or a canopy or something, or a tarp over it where it covers the sun so you can have shade. Okay, now we're back over here. And we're going to be going over to, this is the Loyal Oak Trail and the New River Trail, which is probably, and look out for spiders, as well as spider webs and the webs. I know along these trails, they're probably hard to do because these trails are being, they are being walked on every day. A lot of people walk down these trails every day. So a lot of the webs that you see may not exist on the trail, but you know, like I said, when I was walking in through the entrance from State Road 84, I saw a lot of web trails up high, you know, above ground. So, you know, even though, you know, the only thing that could probably mess that up is heavy rain and stuff like that. Like, see, there's web trails on here you probably can't see, but I know for most, we don't walk through these trees. But if you decide to want to walk through a tree or something like that, make sure you be alert, because a lot of these spiders are not regular spiders that you see in your house. These are like poisonous spiders and endangered spiders and things like that. You know, these are not everyday spiders that you would see in your house that you can say, oh, kill the spider. You know, these are different types of spiders, you know, and things like that. So, you know, you gotta be cautious with that. Whew. Okay, now it's going to be time for me to take hydration. We're going to try to see if I can get to the spot where I can go over to the river trail, which is here, because this is the Loyal Oak Trail, and now we're going to go over to the New River Trail. And I guess the New River Trail is a trail that overlooks a river and things like that. If you're mainly into trees and nature, you go to the Oak Trail. Oh, Oak Trail. Sorry. Welcome to the nature play. This is a natural habitat within many things to discover. Please be respectful of the plants, insects, and other animals that call this home. Use the tools responsibly and return them so others may investigate too. Uneven surfaces and deprivations are common in natural environments. Be aware of your surroundings as you explore. Adult supervision is recommended. Do not remove plants or animals. Observe and respect wildlife. Leave all plants and animals in place for other visitors to enjoy. I hear something. And when it says plants and animals, they also mean, see, there's a spider web right there. You can't see it. And when they say plants and animals, they mean crabs. I've seen in different parks that people, when it rains, it gets, you know, the crabs and stuff like that come out, and then people like to, you know, dig for crabs and stuff like that. I mean, make sure there's no spider webs here. I know there's people that walk these areas, but I just want to make sure, you know. And we're actually near the water, because I can see it looks like a couple of boats beyond these trees. So we'll probably go into the waterway and turkey vulture and things like that. So we're actually near the waterway. There is a waterway here, you know. I took the train and public transportation to get here, and alongside I-95 in certain areas, you know, you have water. You know, you have the ocean or the lake, or however you want to call it. I would say, you know, I just got a spider web on me. That means this area, there was a spider. I just got a spider web on my arm. So that's why I say be careful when you come out to certain areas, because I just got a spider web on my arm. I wasn't expecting one, because I expected that this area would be heavily viewed by humans, and there isn't a lot. So, but we're gonna come. So this is blocked off. No trespassing, construction area, Florida statute 810-09, trail closed, U-turn required. Coming soon due to the construction of the new Manatee Observation Deck. This section of the New River Trail is temporarily closed. So this is closed off because they're doing construction here to make way for a new observation show. But as you can see, this is I don't know what river this is or lake or ocean this is, but I know this is in Fort Lauderdale. So this is probably why a lot of people don't come this area. Oh, and there's an iguana over there. But probably why a lot of people doesn't come this way, because this deck is closed off, so a lot of people don't come out this way. So I'm guessing that's the reason why. But okay. But if you do come out, it is great. You can still come and observe it. If you are a fan of nature and plants and animals, I recommend it. Come out to this. There are a lot of nature centers and nature places here in South Florida to observe. I did a couple of them. I did Ann Cove, Nature Center, Lakeside Pine Preserve, here at Sequoia Woods Nature Center. There's a lot of places. And then you have some that's not considered nature centers and nature parks, but they do have, trails and things of that nature, like, Amelia Earhart, Snyder Park, which is what I'm going to be visiting, after I leave here. Mills Pond, which has a trail. There are several parks that is not considered a nature park, but they have trails and things that you can walk and explore nature and stuff like that. But if you really want true nature, you come out to these nature parks and these nature centers, because they give you more in depth of nature and give you more explanation. If you go out to parks that have nature trails, they're not going to give you any explanation of nature. They're just going to say, hey, this is a nature trail that we built in such and such and such in 1995 or such and such and such, where this is, you can walk and explore the trees and stuff like that. But this is a true nature center. I'm trying to see if it's okay to walk this way. I don't want to, because I see that spider web right there, and I don't want to know that if it's connected to something. And I guess this is a children's play area. Yeah, this is a children's play area. You can build stuff and all of that. So this is it. Play responsibly. I guess all of that's supposed to go back in there, in the little compartment there. But okay, let's go back. Well, I can tell you right now, it only took me less than 30 minutes to walk this. This is very interesting. It only took me less than 30 minutes. Now, I would say to an average person, it might take you 45 minutes, because you may stop and explore a lot of the trees and a lot of the stuff that they have. So it might take you a bit of 45 minutes, maybe an hour, depending. If you have family, then you have kids that uses the little play area they had in the front, or the play area they have over there for the kids. It might take an hour, depending. Because if you stop and observe a lot of the trees and read all of the signs and stuff like that, yeah, it may take you 45 minutes, and it may take you an hour or so, and that's just to walk around it, not including coming back. Because as you see, as I'm coming back, I thought we was going to do a 2-part to this series, and I don't have to do a 2-part, because it hasn't even been 30 minutes and I done walked this whole area. So, and I believe, like I said, a lot of this was water, because you could see where it used to be mud, and a lot of this was water. That's why this boardwalk was created, so people can walk over. And with, because of South Florida and the heavy heat and sunshine, a lot of this area, with heavy rain, a lot of this area can get flooded with a lot of water. But then you have it where if it's days of rain, this will be a water flooding catastrophe. But as you know, it has rained. It rained yesterday, and I was supposed to plan on coming out here yesterday, but because it rained, I got, stayed in. But, when it rains for days, this could be a water swimming pool. But how it is now, where it's heat and it has not been raining heavy for days, basically, this is how it looks, where this is, and this is, I believe, where the boardwalk. So let's see. Huh. I don't know how I did it. Oh, well. Oh, wow. This says to the river. I don't know. Let's see. See, there's water here. There's water here, and there's water here, and there's water here. You know? See, there's water all over here, and this is the observation deck. Oh, you get a screech owl. Oh, okay. And it's water here and water here. So I don't know if this is another river that we're going to, but we're gonna, well, maybe we're gonna do a two-part, but not so much of a two-part because we still have much to cover. Yeah, like I was saying, like when I visited Mills Pond a while back, and after it rained, a lot of the crabs come to the surface. And what ended up happening is a lot of people, they come and they catch the crabs, you know, because of course that's food. So a lot of people, they come and catch the crabs and stuff like that. And of course you have to clean them and all that stuff, because a lot of these crabs, they live in sand and things like that. So, oh, this is the other side. This is how you get to the other side of. Make sure there's no. This is how you get to the other side, I guess, of the river trail. So, let's see. Secret Wood closes at 5 p.m. Yeah, you're making sure people know that, hey, we close at 5 p.m. Get your mind out of here. I knew that, but also because I'm in South Florida, it was more West Indian manatee. So you're not going to probably see a manatee over here in this area because this is dry land, but you are going to see manatee, you know, probably in the water. Also, this is probably where they blocked it off so people cannot get through, and somebody said, bunk that, we still gonna walk through here. So so there's an actual boat. I hear it, and I don't know if we can be able to see it because there's a lot of trees here. It's through these bushes, so you might not be able to see it. So there's, oh God, this is a long walk to get to this trail. So, okay. Okay. Trail closed ahead. Okay. So, yeah, this is also been closed off. And I see there are several iguanas that are here, so this has also been closed off as well too. You can see they're doing the construction. So yeah, we're gonna turn around and go back out, and we're gonna go. What the heck did that look like? I don't know, maybe a fed off of an animal or something like that, but okay. So this is the one-way trail. This is a wraparound trail, meaning that you can continue walking through the trail and walk around to the other side. Not walk to the trail, then you have to turn around and walk back. No, this is a walk-through trail, manatee trail, where you can walk it and continue walking and exit. Enter from one way, exit through the other way. You know, either way, you know. So I can only imagine, and I've never thought about this. What was the situation with COVID-19 in these trails like? Because I know this place was closed, and I know they say a lot of the buildings, like the restrooms, I believe, was closed off at one point. I'm like, restrooms was closed, because they had it here where a lot of the buildings was closed. Like, I guess the office building was closed, or like, well, actually the park was, well, at one point the park was closed, and then they had it at another part where they opened the park, but they had the restrooms was closed and things like that. And I'm like, I say, it's easy for a person to use the bathroom, especially for a male. You know, you just use nature. When nature calls, you use nature's public restroom. So, okay, we're at the end of our time. We're going to do a part 2 heading out. Comment at the bottom of this page. Email me, roundtable00@yahoo.com. This is the Roundtable Talk at Secret Woods Nature Center. I am your host, C Money. As always, stay safe, stay blessed, stay hydrated, and I will see you in a few minutes. Take care.